Give us a second here. All right, can y'all see and hear us? We need to know because we can't see nothing. We're just looking at a black screen.
This is like week 3 of black screen. Okay, so it's going to give us a count when it
Oh, it's gonna give us a yeah. Well, it says nobody's watching.
yeah, it tells us nobody's watching, so y'all are nobody, I'm assuming.
Okay. Can y'all hear us? If you let us know.
All right, we're having a delay, I guess.
I guess we got. Let's see here. You know the commercial I got.
All right, Jackie
I
says
see and hear.
good.
Okay. Oh man, left hand. See and hear you. Okay.
149.
140. Wow.
It's telling us 0. So
Ours says we have 0 watching. So all right.
y'all are 0.
All right. We're way behind y'all. So. Uh.
Okay, it's ours just isn't clicking in for whatever reason. YouTube is having lots of issues, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So you guys just, if something happens, y'all have to tell us in the chat if we go off, because
Yeah, we can't hear nothing.
ours
Man.
says at the top you are live, but our black screen says that this stream is
still offline. So I don't know how to fix that. We have tried and tried to fix that. We do not know how to fix it. It says we're offline, but evidently we're not. So we started the night out with an ice cream pandemic. I'm not sure who started it. I think it might have been Teresa.
I believe she did.
You think it was Teresa?
And then Rain jumped in.
Rain jumped in on it. So, you know, I was, if I hadn't been so close to going online, I would have went and got my homemade ice cream.
Yeah. Hey, Amy, how are you tonight? Glad you got to join us. We have a lot of people already in, even Mr. Rain. Wow.
All right.
So we're going to have a little bit of controversy, Mr. Rain. We're going to have to have Heidi sit there and rope him in a little
Pastor
bit.
Plaid shirt. Yeah, actually, this is a gift from one of our YouTubers. Was it Kathleen?
No.
Who was it sent us this?
Jen.
Was it Jen? Oh yeah, Jen at the Nut House. Yeah. Yeah, Jen at the Nut House.
And speaking of that, she sent chocolate. It's Aztec chocolate mix.
Hot chocolate mix.
That stuff's good, y'all. I told her about it yesterday. It is really, really good. We've got several good gifts in this week, and we're really not doing a video on them, but we're going to be using them off and on, and we're going to talk about 2 or 3 of them. Jen sent us several things, and then Miss Kathleen sent us some things. She sent
Miss Kathleen, we had to have a truck to bring her stuff back.
She sent some books, and so we're going to talk about one of the books here in a little bit, and then she sent flour. And I have made stuff with the flowers that she sent. And so Miss Kathleen's the one that sent the spoons last week. And several people were saying you could buy those spoons at Walmart and different kitchen appliance places. Yeah. And these spoons were antiques. She told me that they came from her husband's father's house, I believe. And when his wife died, she was in her 80s, if I'm not mistaken. And it's only been the last few months. And so these spoons are antiques. And you can tell on the smidgen spoon, it's been used a lot. So, so we've gotten some really nice things. But we wanted to talk about the winter preparedness.
Winter preparedness. A lot of y'all look, I'm still just like I came in from outside. I have been working all day long.
He's panicking, trying to get things done. We think we're prepared till we get to the nitty gritty, and then there's little bitty things that, I mean, all of you do that, right? There's little things you see.
There's things that you just, like, we're fixing to have below freezing temps here. And our if we're lucky, yeah. Our greenhouse was not ready for that yet. And I've been outside since early this morning trying to get electrical wiring in because I am a licensed contractor. You know, I was trying to wire this thing up. I'm trying to get some heat lamps in it, and I'm trying to take care of some places in it where the warm air is seeping out of it and different things. And it's just, we had to run to town and get some stuff in order for me to do it right. And it's just been one hectic day. We had to put a light on our pump because those of you who don't have a well, you have to realize that people who have wells have to keep lights on them and keep them heated, or they'll freeze and bust, and then you don't have no water. We've had to take care of all of our outside spigots. We've had to insulate all of them, and we brought all of our tender vegetation inside. There's all kind of things.
It is doing some buffering, so I mean that's our internet. But tell us if we do. The sound is cutting out. That's just, I guess it's the internet.
I guess it is.
Because Big Bear was just on and he couldn't even stay on. I think he came in and out 2 or 3 times and finally stayed off.
Yeah.
So
there's Amy Sutherland. Hey girl, how you doing?
I said that a while ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he pays me some attention.
I wasn't paying much. I just happened to see the name. I know she's one of my special ones.
Yes, and I've been working in the house. I helped him all morning, and what did we do this morning?
First thing this morning?
Yeah.
What did we do first thing this morning?
We worked outside. Oh, we fixed the door. We had.
Oh yeah, on the rabbit pen.
We put a covering over the door so wind doesn't blow through the rabbit pen into the
north wind isn't blowing into the rabbit pen.
And we fixed that, and we were working on other things, and then we ran to town and came back, and you started in on the greenhouse.
Plus, I rubbed down some bacon today. We put bacon in the refrigerator to let it start curing for 7 days. This next Saturday, we're going to be smoking bacon, so. Maybe next Saturday night for the live stream, we can show y'all some home smoked bacon.
Yes, and y'all just have to sit there and imagine what it tastes like. We haven't had a fire. Well, I take that back. Danny built one little fire one morning, bacon ice cream. Yeah, right. But he built one little fire and let it go out one morning this week, and that's all we've had.
Well, we have a cast iron stove, as you can see it in the background here. Every year when we get through using it in the spring, we go ahead and we wipe it down with lard real good so that it kind of helps to season it. And then in the early part of the fall, we'll burn some small fires in it in order to kind of help get the smoke off of it and kind of help get it seasoned back. And no, it wasn't our hog, Suburban Hillbilly. I had ordered a pork belly because we have so many people here who love my smoked bacon that
we can't produce.
I can't produce enough hogs to do that. Oh.
Yeah, we've got 3 small ones coming on. They'll be ready. One of them we'll probably butcher maybe in January.
Yeah, we got one in January we might do. We might do it when Julianne's here. Who knows? We would have to see.
Yeah, we're not really sure, but right now we're ordering our pork bellies from a local butcher here in town, and so far we've gotten really good pork bellies, and they work out fine, and
they do good.
So we're hoping that'll work.
Well, they're still on the ice cream binge, man. I mean, they just.
Yeah, I'm on chocolate. So
they was talking about bacon vanilla flavored ice cream and all kind of stuff. We'll probably have to build a fire in the morning. We were going to build one tonight, but I said, you know what? I'll just put this flannel shirt on. It's about 65 degrees in the house, and
I'm about to burn up, y'all.
She's having hot flashes. She's at that age where. You'll never satisfy her. 1 minute she's freezing, the next minute she's burning up.
I'm going to do like Teresa Dean. I'm going to open the windows and get some ice cream.
They're talking about bacon nachos now. Y'all going to starve me to death.
Yeah. But I've been doing outside raking. I raked about a week ago and raked a lot of it from the house, and then we didn't have time to get it picked up. So yesterday?
Yes, yesterday.
I think it was yesterday. We went out, gathered all the leaves away from the house, and Danny ran the lawnmower over them, and we gathered a bunch of them up around his fig tree that you saw in the video today if you watched it. And it makes the yard look better, but it also is keeps us from having a fire in case when we light a fire in the heater that we don't sparks don't catch in the leaves and get up close to the house.
That's one of our winter preparations is we try to get all the leaves raked away from the house because we have so many oak trees around the house here in acorns. We pick up acorns by the 5-gallon bucketfuls and go feed them to the pigs because they just love them. And for us, it's just free, it's just free food. Arnie wants to know, have I ever harvested wild hog? Yes, I killed a 500-pound wild hog with a bow and arrow one time. So I've actually taken many wild hogs. I've caught wild hogs and I've raised wild hogs.
Susan wants to know, have we ever had old-fashioned butter rolls?
Yes, I have. We used to make them here. I know exactly what she's talking about.
No. I wasn't sure on that. But today I've been working on a video that's coming out tomorrow. It's cranberry sauce with a twist. So you guys be looking for that tomorrow. It's got a deep South twist to it.
Yeah.
And then I worked on a couple other things, cooking things that'll come out probably in a week or two because some of them we have to push on down. We have so many. We've had people asked us to do videos and we're getting a little behind in some of them. So Danny, hey Appalachia. You guys tell Appalachia hi because sometimes she can't hear us. She can only kind of see the comments when she's on. And so if you guys have a video that you want to see, you'll just have to let us know. But right now we're about, what, a week and a half away from catching up videos that we need.
Bandana Grandma says we don't grow acorns up north, we grow acorns.
Acorns? Yeah.
We just call them acorns.
Acorns.
Yeah, we got that southern slang down here.
That's true.
Oh.
So.
All right. Let's see here.
What else?
Well, it depends on what you want to talk about. I mean.
Oh, can I tell them my chicken story?
Yeah, you can tell them your chicken story. Yeah.
Y'all, I had my little miss, if you saw the video back a couple of months ago, had babies. And she hatched her own eggs, and we had 9 biddies. And a few weeks ago, I took her and put her back with the rooster and kept the 9 babies because they were up big enough. They were right at a month and a half, 2 months old.
Yeah.
So they've been by themselves for a while. And yesterday, we decided to catch them and put them in a different pen and get them out of there with the rabbits. And these things are bantams. And when I went in, oh my goodness, they flew all over the place. They were going wild.
Like quails.
I finally caught all of them, put them in the pens. And guess what? I was -1. We hunted. Danny and I looked everywhere for that biddy. And I thought, well, something's done got it. And this was yesterday morning. We didn't find that biddy anywhere. It's a little female. And late last night, right before dusk dark, Danny walks out and he says, "You've got a biddy out." So we went and looked, and it was the one we were missing. She had went through the door and hid from us all day long.
All day somewhere. I don't know where she was.
Because I went and gathered eggs and everything, and she was just not there. And so we put her in the pen. But y'all, I caught these birds because they're so flighty and they bouncing off the walls and all this kind of stuff till I caught them with a fish net.
With a fish net,
like you scoop fish up out of the water with. So, I had a ball with those. It was something trying to catch them with a fish net. And they went through, some of them went through the fish net.
Some of them actually went through the fish net, yeah. Oh man, they're still hung up on ice cream and talking about butterscotch and
but Appalachia's baby chick is called butterscotch.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay. Congratulations, butterscotch. Yay, okay.
That's what she's talking about.
All right.
So.
Okay.
Now you got to get back to.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell y'all, we have took so many deer pictures. I think we're on like picture number what, 5,000 or 6,000?
Something like that.
We've got so many pictures of deer that it ain't even funny. I mean, they're just piling in, and I'm gonna have to go kill one, I reckon. Somebody asked, where do we get our moringa trees? We got our moringa trees from a lady who lives in the town right next to us here. What was her name again?
Miss Tina.
Miss Tina.
Yes, she gave us. I think there were 4 moringa trees.
4 moringa trees, and they're doing real good.
I've transplanted 2 of them, and one of them I don't know if it's going to make it or not. I think they shed their leaves this time of year.
Yeah, I think that's all it is.
And it's starting to shed, but it's looking pretty good. And yes, Patera, I did share your video on the giveaway. Patera is doing a giveaway for any of you guys who haven't seen it yet. She's giving away tickets to the Great Appalachia Conference in May. She's giving away 2 adult and 4 children. It's a family pack. So if y'all have not seen her video, and if you're interested in going to that conference, then y'all check it out. You might win tickets. And just in the in the comments, say Wanda sent me over here. So she'll know that I sent people over there.
They want to know, are you going to make coffee from your moringa?
I guess you can take the seeds and grind them. We have some moringa seeds.
Yeah.
I have.
Kathleen's asking, what is a moringa tree?
Well, it's Moringa is the way you spell it.
It's a tree that you eat the leaves off of. It's really good. It's really good for inflammation and arthritis and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's supposed to, and it's really I guess they're promoting it as a superfood now, and a lot of people. I have some of the powder. You can add it to drinks. You can add it to dishes and eat whatever. I just go by and get some of
There's Jen. I'm wearing your shirt, Jen.
Yeah. I'll go by and get some of the leaves and eat them when I go through. So I mean, you can do it a lot of different ways.
Are my orange trees dwarf? Amanda wants to know. No, they're not a dwarf. It's just how big they are. It's called a Louisiana orange.
Oh, I thought it was a Valencia.
No, it's a Louisiana orange. Somebody want to know, how do we keep our orange trees during the freeze? We usually, if it's going to get down below freezing, first thing is with citrus trees, you plant them on the south side of the house so that the north wind is broke off of them. And then we've actually put quilts and blankets and all that stuff and piled them over the tops of them and put leaves deep up around them in order to save them.
And still lose.
Sometimes I lost one that was like 15 years, maybe 15, 16 years old. You can't, there's no guarantees, so.
Yes, there really isn't. But this tree is just small. And last year we had about 20 or 25 maybe on it.
Yeah, about 20, 25 last year.
And this year, we counted them yesterday, there was 60 on the tree.
Yeah, we got 60 oranges off of it yesterday. Did you buy a moringa start or grow from seed?
Actually, Miss Tina brought us 4 trees. I mean, pretty good sized trees. The tallest one's about 4 foot?
No, some of them as tall as I am. Some of them 6 feet tall.
I knew one of them was pretty tall. 2 or 3 of them are about 3 or 4 feet, and one is about as tall as Danny.
Mike wants to know, does the moringa help my shoulder pains? I haven't actually taken any. We're actually just trying to get the trees growing right now. We're leaving the leaves on them. We got them in the greenhouse, trying to get them out of the small pots and get them into larger pots and help get them going.
And they're wanting to know, will the moringa grow in North Carolina? Tommy at Off Grid Nation, is he in North Carolina?
Yeah.
He's in North Carolina, but now he's got his
I don't remember which one it is.
Well, he's in one of the Carolinas.
I think maybe South Carolina.
He's got one, but they keep theirs inside, and you can grow them inside.
Yeah, you can grow them inside.
Somebody's asked him, what is for Thanksgiving?
It's on your menu for Thanksgiving. We're actually going out of town.
Yeah, we're going to be out of town, but I just made my cranberry sauce that I make from scratch with a twist.
Yeah, with a southern deep south homestead twist.
So we're going to take some of that probably. So we're going to do that. I'm working on a few things for Danny because he can't eat a lot of the regular foods right now. We're still keeping him off grains for the most part, except for Danny corn. We've added cornbread, and I made a tamale pie out of it the other day, and that was awesome. And that brings me to, can I show him this? Miss
Okay,
Kathleen.
hold on just a second. Somebody wants to know where they can get one of them grinders like we have.
Oh.
You might find one on eBay or something like that, but I found mine just at an auction. I just happened to be at an auction and picked it up.
Yeah, the tamale pie that I did, I want to talk about this book. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's called The How Can It Be Gluten-Free Cookbook from the Test Kitchen. Isn't that America's
Test Kitchen, yeah.
Okay. This book was sent to me by Miss Kathleen, and I love it. I mean, from the minute Danny picked it up out of there, I'm like, okay, I have to sit and read this book. It's got a lot of good tips for anybody that is gluten-free. I'm telling you, it is awesome. The tamale pie was in here. It's really good. I've tried the
see you later, Patera.
I've tried the pancakes.
Yep.
And I've got a cookie recipe in here that I'm going to try. So it's a really good book for anybody that's gluten-free. And you
yes, Bob's asking, do I eat my corn? Yes, my corn does not seem to affect my gluten issues. Now, if I go to the store and buy corn, it messes up with me really bad. But the corn that I've raised here does not seem to affect me bad with gluten issues.
Mr. Rain, I do make homemade ice cream. We have a little ice cream maker, but for the last few weeks, when I make ice cream for Danny, I take some of our peaches out and I take and put them in a food processor. I add a little bit of honey and a little bit of milk, and I just blend that up, and I do it while the peaches are still frozen or semi-frozen, and then I put it back in the freezer. So he has what he calls ice cream. Really is not ice or cream, and well, I guess it's ice. It might not be much cream to it.
Yeah.
And I do the figs that way too. I take figs out and leave them kind of frozen and add honey and the almond milk to it and make fig ice cream.
Yeah. There was a question back I was going to try to catch. Let's see here. Oh, I'm not sure if you could find one of my grinders at an Amish store or not. You might could. I mean, it just depends.
It would be a new one.
Yeah, I mean, but the Black Hawk, like I've got, I love that thing. I mean, it's a little bit difficult to turn, as you've seen in the video.
Lehman's? You might check Lehman's. If anybody has it, it's Lehman's Hardware.
I don't think Lehman's will carry them. You might find one in just an antique Amish store. You might find one, but I just got lucky. How do you find corn with no GMOs? I don't know. I raised mine. That's why. That's the only reason I can find mine with no GMOs.
Yeah, that's it. We plant our own corn, so.
Yeah, everything. I haven't had any problem. Even the sweet corn we raised, anything like that, haven't had any kind of problems. We're knock on wood. We're just hoping that stays true.
The Addicted Prepper said they like the wooden stand that you had the grinder attached to. It's great, but yet we have to put it on something because it's not tall enough. He didn't put legs on it.
Yes, I should have put legs on it, and I still might.
Yeah, right now, but we don't have anywhere to just store it, so it's better to have it like a box so we can pick it up and store it somewhere. So it makes it
Okay. Talk about the video. You got your dining room back to normal.
Oh, yes. Some of you jumped in last Saturday night when we were at the church. I went live for a few minutes trying to test the feed to see if I could go live at the church. And Melody came and sat down by me and was talking to me. She didn't know I was live, and she was talking, and I introduced some of you. I know Weetree, and I'm not sure who else was in the feed. I think Bandana Grandma was in there and a few people. And Melody came about 2 weeks ago, maybe, and helped with the potatoes. And I got some of those done. And she's been here a couple of times helping me with things. And then we got it all straightened up. And then over the past week, Danny and I've kind of messed it up again.
Yeah.
I still kind of got a semblance of it, but we're not really going to have anybody over for Thanksgiving that I know of, so it really doesn't matter. I just like to kind of keep it a little neat throughout the holidays, so we're trying it.
Olive Sheep River Retreat wants to know, is there a test kit for testing for pesticides or non-organic influences? I don't really know if they are or not. I'm not 100% sure about that one. Roxanne wants to know, how's Pastor Plaid? He's in the process of getting his channel together. He's a little bit nervous, and he's wanting to get it up and get it going. He's really working hard on it, so I will let y'all know when he does, though.
Yes, I think he's going to do some kind of not vlog, a blog.
A blog, yeah.
I think he's going to do a blog and then go so that his sermon is on a blog and go live on YouTube. I'm not sure how he's working that exactly, but hopefully he'll have it I gave him till Christmas, didn't
I? Yeah.
I think I gave him till Christmas, so we're kind of helping him along a little.
Don's asking the question, how large is your home and did you build it yourself? My house is 2,300 square feet. And yes, I built every stick of it right by myself. I'm a licensed contractor. That's what I used to do for a living for 26 years. And I built this one right by myself. I had somebody help me. I had somebody put the shingles on it and float the sheetrock. But other than that, I hung all the sheetrock and I finished the whole house, built it myself.
Yeah, and I helped him with a little bit of things in here when I came that he hadn't finished.
Yeah.
The house is...
I built it in 2004.
So it's about 12 years old, and I've been here 3 years, and we've done those beams up there. I think we showed you one time before the beams. I helped him with those, and
yeah,
little things we've done since I've been here.
Yeah, so the house is one of the things. It's a little bit fancier than what I wanted, but before Debbie passed away, my other wife, she wanted a Victorian home, so I built a Victorian. This is a country Victorian, and Wanda and I have come in and done some redesigning on the inside of it since we've gotten married, and put in some new things and made some changes. So we're gradually still making changes in the home.
Amy Davis says most of the house becomes a drying barn with the harvest. Yes. I had sweet potatoes in the floor. I had regular potatoes in the floor. We've had peanuts. What else do we have in the floor? Some squash.
We've had everything.
We had tomatoes, top ground potatoes, tomatoes. Seeds everywhere. We had any kind of seed. If he was saving seeds, they were scattered out and named everywhere. And about a week and a half ago, I said, okay. The seeds have got to be put up. They're dry now, okay?
Yeah, they've been out for about 2 or 3 months, and she said, you got to get these seeds up out of this place and clean this place up now. And I still have some okra in there drying. I still have pecans that's got to be cracked because I've found that pecans really help my intestinal tract and help me, they help me feel a lot better, and we're about to run out of pecans here, so we're going to have to try to find some to crack or something in order to have plenty of pecans to make it through the winter time. Oh, let's see. That sells only organic or heirloom. Yeah, there's. We usually, if we go to buy any seeds, which we don't hardly ever buy seeds, but if we do, we go to a place called Bountiful Gardens. We go to there to buy seeds, and I order from Pine Tree.
Baker's Creek Rare Seeds.
Baker Creek's Rare Seeds and Pine Tree Seeds. Those are the ones that ones that we order from. If we order, now we hardly ever order.
And okay, so we did our chat I think it was Monday. We did a chat because we hadn't done a Danny and Wanda chat in a long time. Since we started doing the live chat, we just figured it was not something we needed to do 2 of. But last Sunday, since Pastor Plaid was on with Danny for so long, and y'all were asking questions, we just let God lead, and we just stayed there. And we thought we would just clear up a few questions, especially since when we do our live feeds, we give it a title, and then if we don't talk about whatever title, we felt like we should have cleared that up. So that's why we did the Danny and Wanda chat, and occasionally we may do one if something comes up. We're planning on doing the what is it, finance thing. So that might be as a Danny and Wanda chat, so that we both can talk about that when we get into those.
The B ladies want to know if the event that God has spoken to me about, has it changed or not. Let me just stop and take a moment, because I'm going to have to, I mean, it's going to be part of the talk tonight anyway, about the post-election. Let me just say this, y'all. Nothing is going to change. Sure, we have a new president-elect. But when we got George Bush in, we had a new president-elect, and they didn't much change. We got Barack Obama in there. A lot changed, but not for the better. We've got Donald Trump in there now, supposedly, if he makes it to office. And look, y'all, I'm just going to give you a heads up. I don't look for anything to change. Not much. I do think things could get worse, and I'll tell you why. It's just simply because I've seen a lot of these, and I'm just gonna go ahead and call them spoiled brat people who they want to fuss and throw a fit because their candidate didn't win, and that's just simply because Mama didn't tear somebody's butt up when they was a baby. They should have had their butt whipped when they was younger, or they need it worse now probably. But people like this, they're being paid to go out and to protest and stuff like that. And I don't really see a lot changing. As a matter of fact, things could probably get a lot worse before they got better. Just as a heads up, if you're preparing, keep preparing, because in that video, I was not pushing Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, he's not even who I really wanted for president, but I didn't have a choice at the moment. When we say picking the lesser of two evils, that's not really, I don't think that's probably not the best way to put that.
No.
We only had, I think we had 3 or 4 choices on the ballot. And then some people said, well, I wasn't going to vote at all. You know what? Too many of my friends died on a foreign field for me to have the right to vote. And I don't want their death to be in vain. So that's why I voted. So I just want to, tell y'all, if you're preparing, keep preparing. Why am I against NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement? Because it took jobs out of America and it put them in foreign countries. That's why I'm against it. Now, it did help a lot with imports and exports, but it took a lot of our jobs away from us, and it put them in other people's hands. And I'm just not for that.
Okay. If you have questions, or you're speaking to us, put it in all caps. And when you're just talking to everybody else, put it in regular, lowercase. The all caps is so we can see the questions and the comments. One of the questions was about pecans. They asked, can we buy them in 50-pound bags bulk here?
No, there's nobody around here who sells pecans like that. I mean,
mainly, we have pecan trees. I mean, this town was founded on pecan trees, and we did get to pick some up last week at a lady's house. We got a Walmart bag full.
Yeah, wasn't many, but maybe 10 or 15 pounds or something like that. They'll probably shell out about 5 or 6 pounds worth of pecans.
Yeah, probably. I guess she's talking about NAFTA. It took jobs from Canada as well.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. The North American Free Trade Agreement. It just was not good all the way around. You talk about these forced vaccines. California right now I think they've got some bills on the ballot for forced vaccines in children, and then it's going to be coming in for adults. And there was talking about 2017, all people were supposed to have the chip put in them and stuff like this. So, it's hard to say where all this stuff will go. Only time's going to tell.
Julie, you've asked something.
Julie's asked about the telling us how to sex an X-breed chicken.
Oh, okay.
You have to do it whenever they're extremely young, no older than 3 days old. Yeah. You can pull their wings out, the hens. On the wings, the hens' feathers will be, you'll have like a feather up long and feather short. Feather long, feather short. A rooster or a cockerel will have, his feathers will all be even across the wings. They won't be staggered like a hen's will. That's the only way that I know to do it, other than turning them up and actually blowing on their bottom end to see if they're oval or round shaped. And I've never really been good at that way, so I just do the wings.
And it has to be before
they're 3 days old.
Yeah, because after that they change so much. It's hard. I don't even know if that works.
Yeah. If you ever go and watch now his name just left my mind.
I don't know who you're talking about.
The richest man in the world, Bill Gates. If you go and watch some of Bill Gates' videos, you will see how he talks about he wants to have vaccines in order to control the population of the world. He's actually even funding some of these vaccines. And that's what's wrong with a lot of our children. It's what's wrong with a lot of our older people who are paralyzed and have passed away now because of a lot of these vaccines. And Wanda and I don't do vaccines, period. We just don't.
The Addicted Prepper says her employer is forcing the flu shot, and she filed a religious exemption request, but it was denied. I'm afraid that's going to happen quite often because they don't think most people are using religious exemptions. They're saying, oh, that's just a catch for everything, So they do deny it a lot because of that. But
yeah. Vintage is wanting to know, are we planning on doing any aquaponics in our greenhouse? We have a neighbor who's wanting to borrow a little corner of our greenhouse to experiment with one of his little aquaponic adventures that he's wanting to do. So I'm going to help him out in that aspect. He wants to do a 5-gallon bucket in there and try it out. Not sure what Roxanne's talking about. Nobody is sticking with me anything.
It's sticking me with anything.
Oh, nobody's sticking me. The needles, yeah. I tell you what, Roxanne, back in 2008, I shot a nail with a nail gun through these 3 fingers here. And, I had one of the boys on the job pull the nail out. And I went to the doctor to get it x-rayed to make sure I didn't shatter any bones or anything like that. And he did not have a tetanus shot. He sent me to the health department. And when I went down to the health department, they gave me a shot, and I noticed immediately there was more in the vial than what they should have been. And I asked the lady, I said, what did you just do? And she said, well, while you were here, I went ahead and gave you all your other shots. And I come unglued, but it was too late. She had done injected it into my body. And ever since that point, my left arm has lost a lot of its muscle tissue, and I've lost a lot of the strength and use of my left arm since then. So it has had an effect on me.
And I'm with Woody. I just don't go to doctors. I haven't been to the doctor, but I think the year before Danny and I met, I went a couple of times, and I was having nervous issues at that time, but it was because of a job and a lot of other stuff going on. Once I quit all that, the nerve problem went away. But I don't do doctors very often. We had somebody asked about medical cannabis, what we thought about that. I am an herbalist, and I know cannabis will work. I know there's lots of issues. Danny studied cannabis. We both know that it does help.
Yeah.
I think people use it in the wrong ways. There's many herbs out there that will help all kinds of problems that people have. And people are scared of herbs because they've been told that they could kill them.
Yeah.
And so I'm one that We do not use cannabis, but I do know that it will work for things. I do understand why people
I
use it.
understand why people use it. Yeah. If I was terminally ill,
yeah,
and I had to have something to relieve my pain and stuff like that, I would not hesitate to take cannabis. I'll just tell
yes.
you.
I do know that a lot of people do use it, so I don't have a problem with it used in the right form and the right way. I think people abuse it. A lot of people abuse the
Yeah,
fact.
a lot of people abuse
Just like
it.
they do alcohol and anything else. They abuse what is given to us for good. They use it for evil lots of times.
Yeah, Amanda said, did I find out what is going on with my neck? Well, no, I did not. I do have a disc issue in my neck. I know that. But we can't, they want to do an MRI, but they want $1,000 up front to do it, and we don't have the money. So I'm having to I just have to live with it right now. I can't have an MRI because I don't have the money.
Somebody was asking about the chickens. Yes, that is with all chickens to sex them before 3 days old.
Yeah, that's actually how the place where you buy your biddies from, that's how they check them.
And Roxanne says, medically speaking, use what God provides us. That's the way I've looked at it all my life. I just don't do doctors really well. My kids, when they were young, none of us were ever really sick that much. So if something happened, we used some type of herb, and for anything that came along. You can ask them. They were hardly ever in the doctor's office. Probably all of them 10 times with 5 kids. So that's not very much over the years.
Yeah, Julie is right. Cannabis does cure cancer. It's a proven fact. It was President Nixon, I believe, who actually shut down the research. If you go back and Google it, I think I'm right if I remember correct, when he was president, they actually had found that cannabis cures cancer, and he actually he actually stopped it and would not allow it to go through. And talking about the flu shots, we talked to a lady at church. Her friend is an elderly gentleman. He had the flu shot given to him, and now he's paralyzed because of it. And he wishes now he'd have never took the flu shot.
Mr. Rain said he had never had a mammogram. Well, I'm with you, Mr. Rain. I did not have them until I was 50 years old, and the doctors were really shocked that I'd made it that far, but I refused to have them. And I've only had a couple and haven't had one in a couple of years. And I know that they're good, but I don't think people need them every time you turn around, like once a year or something like that. So.
Yes, and Wheat Tree's right. Men do get breast cancer too. I mean, breast cancer comes my former wife passed away with breast cancer, and the oncologist told me that most breast cancers come from a couple of different sources. One is underarm deodorants. All the aluminum that you're using it's in the underarm deodorants is stopping up the pores, and it clogs up the lymph node glands, and which that stuff goes straight to the breast on a woman because it's the first fatty tissue it sees after it goes through the lymph nodes. And then using a microwave. He told me, he says, make sure if you use a microwave that you do not use any plastic, because when you heat that plastic in a microwave, it gives off dioxin. And dioxin is one of the leading causes of breast cancer in America today. Danny, you may want to look into an inversion table to help relieve pressure on your disc. I have actually talked to my neighbor about an inversion table. He knows someone who has one, and we have thought about that.
And Teresa's talking about she appreciates modern medicine, but she thinks people should have a right to choose, and I'm that way.
Yeah.
If I break a bone, I'll go to the hospital. I understand that. If you need surgery, yes, you need to go to the hospital. If you're running a high fever and you do not know what's causing it, and you're trying a home remedy and it does not come down, yes, you need to go to the hospital. Yeah. But when it's a sore throat, earache, toothache, you got to cut, unless it's a deep and needs stitches. If you do proper wound care, it will keep you from going to the hospital, usually. Now, some people need stitches, that's different. But I do believe in going to the hospital when it's definitely
when it's absolutely
needed.
necessary.
Yeah, because Danny and I, even the last few years, he's put off going to the hospital so many times when he should have. But when we go, they don't do anything.
They don't do anything. That's one reason I don't go no more than I do.
It runs the bills up so bad, and then we have all these high bills, and we still don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
So you know.
They just tell me to go home. You're not going to die. So it is what it is. Our chat and catch up time we talked about this week.
That's what I was just talking about a while ago.
Yeah, but you didn't finish it though. You stopped and you started chasing rabbits.
Oh, I'm sorry. I chased a rabbit. Well, all right, shoot the
but
rabbit.
Basically, we started reading the comments off here is what happened.
Shoot the rabbit.
Yeah, we'll shoot the rabbit. Yeah.
So what were we finishing?
Oh, I forgot where you was at. Now we got sidetracked and got off on something else.
Oh. Now, I was reading the comments.
Yeah, and Rain's talking about colonoscopies. Yeah, I mean it's
okay. We have a pastor in plaid. You guys give him a big hello.
Is he there?
Yes, it says pastor in plaid.
Pastor in plaid will post a video tonight on YouTube. I appreciate your support. Oh, cool.
So you guys, you click on pastor in plaid and see if you can pick him up. You wanted him, there he is.
Subscribe to him. You know, minimize, go over there and subscribe to him and then come back. You know.
And tell him in the comments that we sent you. We're probably the only people sending people his way right now.
Oh yeah, everybody say hello to the pastor. He will be putting up a video soon. So that's pretty cool. And I know a lot of y'all are wanting to know where my All God's Children are. Y'all, I have been so busy. I mean, literally, I'm daylight to dark every day trying to get stuff done here that we've let go all summer because of the heat. And I'm just trying to get caught up right now. And I'm wanting to get another one out today.
Well, it won't be uploaded today. It'll have to be tomorrow sometime.
Yeah, I'll probably do it. I'll probably tomorrow sometime.
Unless you go live early in the morning.
I could, but
I'm pushing him, y'all.
She's pushing me, man. Yeah, she's pushing me. But I am going to try to get another video up. I want to do one for Thanksgiving, and plus I have a few more thoughts on my mind that the Lord's given me that I'm trying to figure out how to get those put together. All right, Heavenly Help Us said they subscribe to Pastor in Plaid. Cool.
Kathy says she has. B Lady says she can't find him. When his name comes up, B Lady, I think you can pause your button and click on him or something, and I think you can go through his name on this feed, if I'm not mistaken. I think you can do
Paula wants to know, how is the hunting going? Look, we've taken about 5,000 pictures of deer, which we cannot eat the pictures, but we have deer everywhere back there, and we're just waiting for this good cool spell to come through because it has still been kind of warm, and we're basically, to be honest with you, we're just buttering them up where we can take one.
All right, I think Rain Country is putting Pastor in Plaid's feed up. So if you can click on where Rain Country has that up, that would be his his channel.
That's his channel. She's
so
putting
y'all
up
click on it.
You can go there, and her and Wheat Tree both have got it up. You can go there and sub. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
Rain saying, ha ha, Danny. Look, I believe in buttering these animals up. I want to make sure they're good and fat before I shoot one of them.
Y'all, we have several of them. It's not one picture, but over the last few days where there's 4 deer in the picture at one time. And I'm sitting here going, you got to go kill a deer. You got to go kill a deer. And he says, no, I'm waiting till it cools off. And so now it's cool, y'all. He's fixing to go be put to the test. We got to have a deer this week.
We're going to put the old crossbow to the test that you saw in our video this past week. I mean, I was a competition shooter for several years. And actually, when I moved over to the crossbow, I wasn't really expecting it to be as nice as it was. But I'm going to tell you, I was shooting at 50 yards and hitting a 3-inch circle at 50 yards with a crossbow. And I felt like I felt like that was pretty good.
Yeah, and I shot really well for where I was shooting,
Yeah,
and I was
Wanda.
proud of myself. Actually, we shot a crossbow 2 years ago. Our son-in-law had
Yeah,
one, and we all got out practicing with it, and I got to shoot it 6 or 8 times then. But that's been 2 years,
yeah, that's been 2 years
and
ago, and
I don't even shoot guns or anything else. So I thought that was pretty good that I could at least hit something.
I tell you what, this thing shoots at 350 feet a second, and at 50 yards, when you squeeze that trigger,
Mm-hmm.
by the time you squeeze the trigger, the arrow's already hit the target. It's like a rifle. I mean, that thing is traveling so fast. It just amazed me at how accurate it was at that distance. And yeah, Wonders. I mean, I have this thing adjusted and set up really, really nice. And when Wanda picked it up, and once I got her, to show her how to shoot it and got her braced in real good and her breathing techniques down, she's able to zap that little 3-inch circle. I mean, just about every time now.
Now, Susan said she's killed a doe with it. And then GMC says his son or her son is giving him one for Christmas. And Rain is really wanting one. So, Mr. Rain, hint, hint, Christmas. Yeah. I want to see Miss Rain shooting a bow.
Susan said it sounded like hitting a watermelon. That's exactly right. I've killed 73 deer with a regular compound bow and a recurve, and I'm gonna tell you, I love it. It's just that I've got these torn rotator cuffs now, and I can't pull a regular bow back anymore. But this crossbow, I think, is gonna remedy that.
Yeah, and it was really, really easy, and I guess for any woman should be able to. It's a little difficult with the twisting to pull it back, the grinding, but as long as you don't let it slip, it's not hard. It's just that you just have to keep the pressure there,
right,
and not let it slip. And that's one thing he was telling me, not to let it slip out of my hand and start coming unwound.
Well, it does have a click mode on it where it won't do that. It's just that I don't like it making all that noise.
Bob's Homestead said he would like to hunt with you. And he'd have to come on to Mississippi.
Yeah, it's I used to travel around the country and do a lot of a lot of deer hunting, but I don't get to do that anymore.
Mr. Rain says Miss Rain just snorted.
Oh.
I'm wondering what kind of laugh she's got. I've heard her kind of smile a little and kind of grin, but I didn't know she snorted when she.
Grandma said you thought I was going to say I shot 73 watermelons. No, I have shot several watermelons, but not that many. Susan said she actually shot and drugged that deer out by herself.
Wow. If I shot one, I'd probably be pulling it because I wouldn't want it to be going nowhere.
Yeah. I have never actually tanned a deer hide. Ellen's asking me, have I ever tanned one? No, I have never. I've never tanned one. I've always wanted one. I wanted one for a rug here in the house, but I've never actually done it. I may go watch J Noel and Mr. Hilder. They do them, so I may watch one of their videos again and see how it's done.
All right. Somebody says, how big is the root system, and what if you only had a couple of stalks? I'm not sure if they're asking what they're asking about there. So
how big is the root system?
Goddess, if you could, you'd have to.
I probably missed it in the feed.
It's ice.
I'm trying to back up and see if I see anything.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what it was about.
Wait, yeah, I just saw it and you flipped it.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. Let's see.
I was somewhere right. You'll have to give me a minute here.
Go. Right, wait.
I have a question. Do you think you could successfully grow sugarcane in a container garden? Yes, you can. Matter of fact, I was just looking online yesterday. You can actually grow sugarcane in containers. So yes, it can be done.
Yes, and even if you have like a piece or two and you grow 2 or 3 more and you cut those, it may be a process, but you can eventually grow into having quite a bit.
Oh, y'all are welcome, Dolphin Man. As a matter of fact, the pastor and Plaid and I will probably do some more videos together before long to help kind of get him kicked off and get his subscribers way up there so he can reach as many people with the gospel as he can.
And we'd appreciate it if y'all would share, with your friends, family, or whoever you think would be interested, because he does a lot of great teaching, and he is a very good teacher. Just put it that way. He's a good teacher.
He's really a good teacher, yeah.
So, all right, what time is it? You guys, it's only 7 minutes till 9, but
5 minutes till.
Well, 5 minutes now. Okay, I'm not even reading the time right. Zach from An American Homestead he messaged yesterday.
Yeah.
He's not going to be on tonight. So do you guys want to stay on a little bit longer? Because we have that option, and we'll just keep going for a little while.
Vintage is asking, can you propagate blueberries from a large plant? Yes, you take about a 3-inch cutting off the tip of the limbs, and I like to kind of scrape it a little bit. I only leave like 2 or 3 leaves on it. And I'll scrape it just a little bit and dip it in some rooting hormone, dampen it, and then dip it in some rooting hormone and stick it in some good potting soil.
All right, Miss B Lady wants to know how our plants are doing after the drought.
Which plants?
The ones in the field, the greens.
Oh, they're doing good.
They're awesome. We picked some. I've got some on the stove right now. All of those are doing really, really good. The kale, I think it is. What's the bugs that's getting into them?
The harlequin bugs. No. And the aphids.
The aphids are getting on the kale some. Danny, is that crossbow good quality? Rate it 1 to 10.
That one for me, I never give anything top rating unless I've actually shot a lot of different ones. I'd probably say it's an 8 or a 9 because its accuracy at 50 yards was just amazing to me. Is how accurate that particular crossbow was. Aren't crossbow arrows expensive? Yeah, they're actually not called arrows. They're called bolts. They're like, what do we pay for these? $6 a piece? $5 or $6 per arrow. And then the broadheads can go up. Some broadheads I have are as high as $20 a piece. And some of them are as cheap as $5 a piece. So the broadhead, it just depends on which one you buy.
What kind of peanuts did we plant? They love boiled peanuts. That's SG Wood.
Virginia Fancies.
And that's what we use to make boiled peanuts, and we canned them. But this year we planted some, what were they called? Jungle peanuts. We planted one little row, and we saved some seed from those, and we're going to plant some more jungle peanuts next year. Those are supposed to be a really good peanut too. They have a good taste. They taste a little bit sweeter than a normal peanut.
Yeah.
But for boiling and for canning like we did, we used the Virginia Fancies.
Yeah. Paula says you can cut an arrow off to make regular bolts. You can do that, but you better know the spine of it before you actually do it, because if the spine is wrong, the arrow, it could be a little bit dangerous. Roxanne says she wants a crossbow, said she doesn't like shooting guns. And that was one of the things I brought out in the video was
I don't like shooting guns.
Wanda doesn't like shooting guns, but shooting that crossbow is really a dream for a female. Geneva's wanting to know, what do I think about rooftop solar panels? Well, it actually depends on what part of the country you live in. If you live in a place where there's a lot of hail and damage like that, and like in the Midwest, I don't really recommend them. Down here, I won't even do them in the deep south where we're at, because hurricanes are so bad that they just rip them off of the roof. Or there might be certain parts of the country that it would be good in, but not where you have a lot of hail and tornadoes and hurricanes.
Ice Goddess wants to know, how successful can you be at homesteading with a full-time job? You can homestead.
You can homestead. It's just not going to be as successful.
You have to manage your time really, really well. You have to be willing to get up a lot earlier before you go to work, and you have to be willing to work when you come in.
stay up a lot later because Wanda and I both work all day each here on our homestead, and we barely keep up with everything we have to do. Somebody's asking, how do I heat my greenhouse? Well, what I did today was I ran electricity in the greenhouse today, and we have right now we have the big red 200-watt heat lamps like you put over chickens or baby pigs or something like that. We have those hanging in the greenhouse right now to help keep it warm.
And we're not expecting extreme lows. I mean, a little below freezing.
I think what they're talking about Monday, we're going to be down to 28 or 29.
And so that's not too bad. And if we can keep it up, this is all an experiment for us because we've never had a greenhouse, and not being able to afford all the fancy heaters and fans and all that stuff. Yeah. We're having to do it, I guess.
We just have to improvise and do it the best way we can.
The redneck Danny way or whatever.
Yeah. We got a lot of people who says they love shooting.
Now, I don't mind shooting the pellet gun that we have, and I don't mind shooting the 22.
Rifle. Yeah, the 22
I can
rifle.
do that. Anything that is loud and jars, I'm not shooting it.
Okay, let's see. How far have we got with our?
Miss B Lady said, "Did she miss your smokehouse?" We do have some smokehouse videos up. It would be way on back in the spring.
Yeah, that's back when we first started.
Yeah, and we're going to do one hopefully after next Saturday.
It'll probably be up either Monday of next week.
Or not Tuesday.
Can't be Tuesday. It might be Sunday or Monday because next Saturday I have to smoke bacon, so we'll probably be making a video then.
Oh, they're on a plaid kick. May the plaid be with you.
Oh, oh, that's pretty cool, Dolphin man. May the plaid be with you. It's kind of funny that I have this on tonight, and the pastor in plaid showed up on our thing. That was pretty cool.
You're taking over his image here.
Well, I mean, Jen from the Nut House sent it, and I was sitting here. I was cold because it's like 60-something degrees here in the house, and I was like, I'm just gonna put it on, you know.
That's cute. Wish Danny would make me smoke a smokehouse. That's Bob. We're liking our smokehouse now.
I love my smokehouse now. A lot of people think it's an outhouse, but it's actually a smokehouse. It looks like an outhouse, but it's a smokehouse.
Yes. We had people think we had an outhouse. Several people think it's an outhouse.
Yeah, lots of people think it's an outhouse, yeah.
It kind of has that look.
Yeah.
So one day he's going to build me an outhouse, so we really will have an outhouse on the property just because. Yeah. I just think we need one. Not necessarily need one, but I want the look.
Yeah, we will.
All right, we're up to...
Amy says it's so funny how everyone wants to be somewhere else. That is so true. You know, I mean, I did a video on that on my porch time here a while back, talking about how people spend their whole lives working to buy a big old home and pay several $100,000 from it and have all these fancy vehicles and stuff, and all they can do is wait for a vacation so they can get away from it. You know, so I mean, I did do a video on that.
Yeah, and then Mud Pie says she sees a book on the smokehouse. I'm trying to get him to go ahead and get some things on Etsy. We've got a couple of things. Somebody wanted to know how to build the tortilla press.
Tortilla press, the clothesline, all these things. I've got to get them drawn out and get them on there. It's just...
And then the clothesline video. Several people have asked for how he designed that clothesline, so he's got to do that. So we've got several things going on Etsy, and the smokehouse. I wish we had a book going up, but we've been just swamped, and books went out the window for right now.
Plus, on top of that, see, I build spoons for people and all that kind of.
The spoons has kept him busy, y'all.
I mean, I can only make so many spoons a day if I stay at it hard, and it just, you know, there's just not enough of me to go around, y'all. If I could ever get over there to Barry at Empty Hammock,
yeah.
If I could get him to actually clone me like he did himself.
You guys got to watch Empty Hammock's new video.
that would be really great if I had two of me around. You know?
Yes, because he's standing there talking to you, and he's sitting there working at the same time. and he makes himself work.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Empty Hammock's got a lot of cool things on his videos. So, okay, now we're up to my cornbread. So do any of you have questions on the cornbread? Because Danny left out a important part of the video. He left all the mixing of the eggs and the milk and everything
this
out.
new computer, when I was building that video, I didn't realize that I had clipped a piece of it out. So Wanda may have to remake that. So.
Yeah, Mr. Rain said he bought Heidi a spoon and she won't use it. Well, I'm kind of that way. Things that come here, I put them up instead of using them.
We got lots of stuff here that could be used and is not.
Amy Davis said they'd love to vacation at the homestead. Danny could put us all to work. Yes.
Yeah.
That's something that we're considering here. If anybody is wanting to, kind of like a Wolfer type program or learning program, if you're wanting to come here, if you would private message us at info@deepsouthhomestead.com. I am looking for younger women that want to come learn, and some of the younger men that wouldn't mind helping Danny with some things. We do have one young man coming next summer, and we're looking for people that want to stay anywhere from a week to 2 weeks for the most part.
Yeah. We've got so many things around here that has to be done that they just ain't enough of us to go around.
No.
And that's what I tell you about a working and a functioning homestead is it's a 10 to 12 hour a day job. You know.
Is the cornbread recipe in the cookbook? I can't remember if I put it in there or not, but I am out of cookbooks right now at the moment. And I'm not sure if I'm going to order any more till after the first of the year. So at this moment, there are no more cookbooks. And I'm fixing to do the video on the dressing. It'll come out, I think, Monday or Wednesday, one of the two. I don't know which day the dressing video. It'll be chicken and dressing. When I do that, I will redo the cornbread video slightly in a quick version so that it'll be on there. So the recipe will be on the chicken and dressing video.
Yeah, Geneva Crockett says, do y'all think things are going to get as bad as it was during the Great Depression? Well, let me say this. According to God's word, depending on at what point in history that happens, yes, it's going to get worse than the Great Depression, because the Bible says at some point that it will cost a day's wages just to buy a loaf of bread. So when is that going to happen? I have no idea. It could happen in the next month. It could happen 5 years from now. I don't know, but I do know that the Bible says it is going to happen, and when it happens, I don't know. You know, I have no clue.
The price of food is going up. I think, who was that we saw did a video? I think it was Brad.
No, it was...
Brad did one.
Well, Brad might have done one, but
food prices going up.
He did, but Rich from Tennessee Homestead actually went a little more in depth.
Yes.
There's going to be anything made with corn this coming year is going to be extremely expensive, which means that everything, because everything's made out of high fructose corn syrup, and everything in the store has corn in it, and it's all because of corn issues going on in our country today. So food in the next year is going to be more expensive.
Yes. And I mean, the prices of food, I mean, it's crazy. Danny and I don't buy a lot at the grocery stores, but we do buy what we have to have. And even in 3 years, I've noticed the prices going up a pretty good bit, and just on the little items we buy. And I'm telling you.
I never did answer Arnie. I saw that, Arnie, I saw that a while ago, and it completely slipped my mind. My grinder has steel burrs in it. It does not have the stone ones in it. I wish it did have stone, because then I could grind a more finer flour. But the steel is what's in that particular one. I hate I missed that while ago. I did see it.
Miss B Lady, she said, how are the plants doing after the drought? I thought I answered that a while ago.
They're doing good.
They're doing good. Our greens and everything in the back and the front, we've been eating out of. They're growing well. The carrots are up really good. The video that we put out today shows most all the plants outside. They all have survived so far.
I have to go back. I gotta answer this one. Y'all, they're going so fast. I have to go back. Paula, okay, that's who it is. Says all that grinding, etc. Y'all did on the cornbread video, wasn't that equal to a day's work?
Yes.
Yes.
Y'all, that is a lot of work. But the corn, you can't. We had people ask, can you put it in a coffee grinder? No, I don't think it would grind in that.
You tear your coffee grinder up.
A food processor, it would. He had a friend that tried to do that, and I think it broke some blades or something.
Yeah.
You have to have a food mill.
Yeah.
Or a grind. What is it called? Is it a food mill? Or grain mill.
Grain mill.
It's called a grain mill, and we don't have one, so we have to do it the old-fashioned way. But if you have a grain mill, then you can do that. And we have a friend that did some a couple of years ago. She ground a good bit of corn for us for our corn meal, and then last year a guy just showed up one day and brought us some of his corn that he ground.
Yeah.
He said God had just put it on his heart to bring us some, and
it's funny, we had just ran out
of corn meal when he brought it up. So he brought us some, and it was some that he had grown, so we were blessed with that.
Estrogen Acres is asking, what is up with the corn? There is a disease that has hit corn in either 7 or 11 states. I think maybe 11 states. They're not telling anyone about right now because they're afraid they don't know how far this disease has spread, and it's literally wiping out corn crops everywhere. So just, that's one of the things that's going on with the corn. And as B-Lady was asking about how our plants are doing after the drought, there is no after the drought. The drought is still going on. We're at day 49, and we've only had 1.5 inches of rain in 49 days.
Yes, and Arnie says it needs to be ground slow. If you go too fast, it heats the corn up.
It heats up, yes.
Yeah, I can't go really fast because about the time you get going, it'll hang up, and then you have to kind of bump it to keep. There's no getting a real fast momentum unless you're a strong person.
SG Woodward wants to know, do we still have corn for sale on Etsy? It should be, yes.
Yes, I think so.
Yes, this corn. Somebody wants to know, is it wiping out GMOs? You know, I'm not sure about that. I think it is affecting the GMO crops, but I'm not 100% sure.
So somebody asked if we knew what acorn flour, if we'd heard of that.
Yes, I know what
says acorn flour.
I know what acorn flour is. Yeah, actually, Amanda from Freedom
Acres did a good video.
She did a good video on that this week.
So if y'all are interested in the acorn flour, check out Amanda. And I'm sure she calls it an acorn flour. Now, I'm not sure. She probably says it real proper in her country way. So, Simply did not see you.
Oh, Wayne's in the house. Hey, Wayne.
Simply Circus, I saw came in too.
Yeah, I watched most of your live stream a while ago, man. I like how you put it when you was talking about, people just, it doesn't matter who you voted for. I like that. I like I liked your attitude toward it, because that's basically, I'm the same way. No matter who won, I wasn't going to go out and tote some kind of sign and say I was going to throw a little temper tantrum and all that kind of stuff, because I got to work. I got to provide for myself. I ain't got time for such nonsense as that.
Yeah.
The corn disease, Arnie, came from South Africa. Let me go ahead and tell you that. It's a disease that they slipped in here. Monsanto did this. They didn't know that they brought it in here, they said, and it's wiped out a lot of their own corn crops. So it is a disease. I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head, but it came from South Africa, this particular disease.
Yes. All right, we're up to...
Okay. Crank cornmeal with stone wheels and steel burrs. Wow, Mike's got one that has stone and steel. That's pretty cool there.
And I think we've made it through our videos finally.
Oh, did we get through all of our videos?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think we have. We're just winging it from here on.
Well, I wanted to show.
Yeah, this. Show daughters.
Jen's daughter sent this, and I'm not sure with this camera. I'm putting it where I'm hoping you guys can see this.
You put up at our face, you'll be able to see it.
Okay.
Yeah. Put mine behind it, that way it likes
Her name is Jordan, and I think she's 13, if I remember correctly, going on 14. She did this for us as a gift, and Jen sent it this week. And then she did another one. Let me see if I can hold this one. I don't know if y'all can see this one. Let me put it where.
I went up a little higher where our face is. There
this one is a smaller version. She did this one, and Jen put it online, and I just commented on it how talented she was. So when she got through, she did both. She sent both of them. So I thought that was pretty cool. So Jordan, thank you for these. And
we always appreciate anything people make like that. That's a blessing to us that someone would Hilltown says they couldn't see the photographs, but
oh, okay. I might have had the light may have been off. I can't tell because we don't have a screen.
I don't have a screen. I can't see nothing. I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised y'all can see anything. We can't see nothing. It's like talking. Yeah. This is like a radio show for us. We can't see nobody.
Yeah, y'all are seeing us. We can't see.
Yeah, B-Lady Monsanto probably started this. I mean, it came from one of their test patches in South Africa, so it's quite possible that they did it.
Does anybody freeze rice, dry beans, and lentils before putting them in pans?
Yes.
Yes, we always do.
Any bean or pea or corn seed or anything like that.
Flour
or anything. Cornmeal, grits.
Oatmeal.
We freeze all that for a minimum of 2 weeks before we put it up in anything.
Are we making more canning videos? I have a canning video on our mustard greens. It's probably going to come up the end of next week, I would think, because we've got so many videos right now that are kind of staggered out. So about the end of next week, the mustards. And in my video, for tomorrow, the cranberry sauce, I tell that you can, after you get it made, you can can that, and I tell you how to can cranberry sauce.
Susan put up the name of that supposed disease. That looks like the right.
Yes, I think so.
I think it is a necrosis disease. I think Rich from Tennessee Homestead talked about it some. I think on his channel too.
All right.
Yeah, Donna, freezing your corn seed will not damage them. As a matter of fact, when you take them out of the freezer and put them into warm soil, they actually come up faster.
Arnie's waving at us. Wave back.
Oh. Oh, S.G. Woodard said he just ordered some corn from us.
And Roxanne, think about if we were just grinding with rocks. Yes, I did. I thought about that. I was sitting there going, man, if I had a big rock bowl and another rock and I was sitting there grinding, I'm telling y'all, Danny wouldn't get very much meal. It would just, he would be lucky.
Well, that's what I was telling her back in biblical times. They used mortar and pestles.
Yes.
To grind everything. I mean, it was a job.
No, B-Lady, you didn't miss the dressing recipe. It's coming out Monday, I think, or either Monday or Wednesday.
Monday or
I'm
Wednesday.
Not sure. Garage sales.
Yeah.
How do
you degerminate corn? I have no idea, Susan. I don't degerminate any of our corn.
Bayer, Monsanto. Not sure who bought who out, but it is all the same.
Bayer, yes. I think it was Bayer that bought out Monsanto. Bayer over in Germany bought Monsanto, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. All right, so.
The I Am of Me says, God help us, there's a GMO cornfield right across from the new elementary school. Bless y'all's heart, because when they spray that stuff, The new sprays that they use this year has 2,4-D weed killer in it, which is extremely toxic to the human life. As a matter of fact, if you look at all the specs on these chemicals, these people have to dress up in certain kinds of suits. They have to post signs around the field that says no human traffic around these fields for X number of days, like a month, I think, after they spray them and all that kind of stuff, because they are so toxic.
All right, after you freeze the corn for 2 weeks, how do you store it? You can leave it in the freezer till you get ready to plant it.
You can leave it in there till you get ready to use it.
Or you can take it out and put it.
You can take it out. We just put it in glass containers and just store it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
And then there's, does Mississippi have the cornhole mills in stone that the Indians used? We have one on our farm. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if they do that. If they do, it would be in central Mississippi where the Choctaw Indians are, because they have a lot of the Choctaw stuff up there, and it's quite possible. I actually found one of them stones in the woods one day and messed around and got away from there and didn't get it. Now I don't even remember where it was at. We was working on a big tract of timber up in central Mississippi, but they are still in the woods around.
Do they have lawn tractors to press cane back in the time your press was made? No.
They
used horses.
They used mules.
Yeah, mules.
They used a mule to turn around.
Yes, and we had several people say we should have used mules, but we don't own mules.
I don't own a mule.
So it's kind of hard to use something you don't have.
Let's see. Ice Goddess wants to know, do we use natural insecticides or nothing at all? We use nothing at all. We don't want any kind of chemical on or any kind of pesticide on anything we eat.
Is land available in our area? Yes, all the time.
All the time.
Danny's daughter is a realtor, and if anybody's interested in the area, let us know. We'll put you in touch with Jennifer, and she can find something for somebody.
Yeah.
You know, she's usually pretty good at it, and
let's see.
I actually posted a thing last month. I don't know if it's still available, but it's a not a mobile home, camper facility. What do you call them?
A park? You don't know?
Yeah, a camper park, and it already has a house on it, I think, and RV park is what I'm thinking of. An RV park, already established RV park for sale. So if anybody's interested.
Oh, Heaven Help Us says, do you freeze your peas and beans as well? Yes, we freeze them for 2 weeks and then we take them out. Because peas and beans are notorious for having little tiny worms in them. What is the minimum soil temperature to plant corn? I will not plant corn if the soil is colder than 60 degrees. 60 degrees is my cutoff point. Anything colder than that, I won't do it. Anything warmer than that, yes, I will.
Mr. Rain said he got a kick out of me driving the... Yes, that was because Danny was feeding it. I didn't want to be the one feeding the meal. So I would rather him feed it. And quite frankly, sitting on the lawnmower is a lot easier than trying to feed the meal and ducking.
She would get her head hit.
I would have been hit. I would have been like 2.67. I would have got hit quite often.
Estrogen Acres wants to know, what do we think about neem oil? Neem oil is supposed to be an organic chemical that's used to control different things.
An organic chemical?
Yeah, it's
I'm just saying.
I mean, it is an organic chemical that they use. But I don't use it. I don't use anything, to be honest with you. I just do not use anything.
What sort of things can someone do for apartment homesteading? I would say the best thing to do is container gardening, but also make sure you have food storage. Become a prepper. Grow what you can grow, your greens, maybe a tomato, peppers, whatever little things you can grow in containers, and learn to be a prepper, to store up what you need in an apartment. Because I was in an apartment for a couple of years, and I know how difficult it is. So yeah, I would say
you buy canned stuff. Prepping. Just start buying some extra canned stuff and sticking it under the bed, sticking it anywhere you can. You know what I mean?
Water, anything like that. Because being in an apartment, one thing you're going to find is if something happens to the water supply, the power goes out, whatever, and you don't have water coming through that faucet, you need a backup. I think that's one thing that people in the city don't think about too much because they're used to turning a faucet on. But I do think you need to store some type of water, somehow, so you don't get stuck
The
with
B lady says, I hate to admit that I'm in a biracial marriage. Lady, don't hate that you're in a biracial marriage. She says, I'm scared to death of the South. Look, let me be honest with you.
There are very, very little racial tension down here.
There's
more in the North than there is here.
Yeah, y'all got a lot more racial tension up there than we do down here. Down here, blacks and whites live together. I mean, we function together. As a matter of fact, this coming week, I've got several black people coming to my house here to get bacon from me. I mean,
Danny did a video with Mr. Charles.
Mr.
Steve went over to his house
yeah.
and grafted his trees for him.
Yeah.
We have a lot of good friends. It's just a myth that people in the South are against black people.
That's a myth.
That is not true. Because
down here
you would be welcome. Probably, if you came here, you'd probably feel more welcome than you feel where you live. Just saying.
Yeah, down here, I mean, you talk about biracial marriages. It's so common here that nobody even turns a head to it. I mean,
nobody even thinks about it.
We're from the South. We love each other. We're more tolerant than most people are. I'll just be honest with you.
That's what she said. They're more tolerant. Yes. Biracial to me, if you have a Japanese and a white, or a white and a Korean, or a Korean and a Japanese, they're all biracial. So what is the difference?
There is no difference in my eyes. Everybody's God's children. I don't see color when I look at anyone.
Yeah. She's not saying that she fears her marriage. She's just fearing, being in a situation.
I understand what she's saying. Yeah.
And no, you would not have any trouble traveling in the South. Probably none of the southern states would give you any problems whatsoever.
When we get to heaven, God's not going to look at us and want to know what race we are.
Yes. The South is probably one place you could come and feel welcome.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And you're welcome to come. So just let me know when you want to come south.
Yeah, it's all a myth. Let me tell you, it's all a myth.
Yeah. So Teresa Dean says she's raising kids that are biracial. But they are her babies. Okay, I'm trying to read before it pops, Teresa. Yeah, we have many people that have biracial children and everything.
Oh yeah, some of my best friends have married people from India and Korea and all these different places. I mean, and a lot of different Spanish descents, and I don't see any difference in anybody, to be honest with you. I mean, we all bleed the same.
Yeah, and she says she's coming to the revival. We still hadn't decided on whether to try this or not, because Danny and I are really, we're not used to having a bunch of people, so we don't know how to handle something like this. And we're thinking if we do anything, it might have to be a limited amount of people. So if you're really, really interested in coming to Deep South after Christmas, just message us on info@deepsouthhomestead.com and let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a black person with, I don't know what that word is, some kind of pink, just like mine? I'm not sure the S with the Susan, I guess, is what she's talking about. I'm not sure. Yes, everybody has different colors. Everybody's saying the South is friendly and welcoming. Yes.
Yeah.
And I missed part of something at the church. Yeah. Build a bunkhouse for visiting workers. We actually have a room. It's set up for a single person, not for a couple. And that's why we have the room built. It will have all the things that people need. It will be, it's got a bed. It has a little small microwave. It has an air conditioner. It'll have a heater. It has the bathroom, so we all have
People talking about a place for a revival, a field don't mind getting messed up. Our church has a 3-acre field
that we've already talked to.
We've already talked to the pastor in Platt about.
So y'all talked to the pastor in Platt about us using the field at the church.
Yeah.
Now we'll sick you on him.
Yeah.
And I know sick means go get them.
Yeah.
That's a SIC. That's a Southern word. My son is single. Who are we? Oh, I see.
Oh.
We are renting an RV to come. The bee lady says she's coming. You're going to
Renting
have
an
to
RV to
message
come,
me on
yeah.
that one, lady. And we'll talk about it.
Doc D says, I have a self-contained motorhome. That's cool.
That's what we're looking toward. Is
Yeah.
if you come, you have to have a way to something to stay in. And it would be cold, so I don't know that tents are going to be feasible. And there is a RV, I mean, what is it called in town? The lake.
Flint Creek. Yeah, Flint Creek Water Park.
It's a water park that does have cabins and places to park campers if we don't have the place. And then there is hotels within 15 minutes of here. I mean, it's not like you would have to drive long periods of time. So things like that. But yes, we do. We're not sure about everything yet because we're just not used to having to do this kind of stuff. And Danny's like I have to pull teeth. He doesn't like to go anywhere. And he tells me he hates people. He really don't hate people. He just hates crowds.
Yeah.
He does well in them, but.
Okay, do we have a well on our land? Yes. How deep did you have to drill? Well, I actually have 2 wells on my land. I have one that's 125 foot. It's a 2-inch well. Then I have a 4-inch well that I drilled. It's only 50 feet. I hit water at 10 feet deep with one of them and 20 foot deep with the other one. So I have plenty of water.
Yeah, somebody was asking, could we do it in the summer? The summer is too hot.
That hasn't prayed today?
Yes, we're going to pray. Y'all can throw your prayer requests.
You can go ahead and start putting your prayer requests up so that we'll make sure that everybody sees them and nothing gets missed up.
Is Flint Creek open in the winter? Yes, it's open year-round.
It's open year-round, yeah.
You just don't want to go swimming this time of year.
Yeah.
But you can fish and boat and stuff like that and have, what do you call it, barbecue.
We just don't want to have it in the summertime because it is too hot here to have it in the summer.
Yeah. Danny's soil is so fertile you can't go barefoot or the corn on your toes will sprout. That's pretty cool. I hadn't heard that one. So, yeah, I think Pastor Plaid must have made some kind of comment. I'm missing stuff here.
Yeah, it's going past so fast a lot of times I didn't get to see too much. He must have said something.
Empty Hammock's mother, Elizabeth, at Tiny House Prepper, is sick. So we want to keep Miss Elizabeth in your prayers.
Yeah.
And Empty Hammock too. Let's keep him in your prayers. He's had some health issues.
What large town are we near? We're near Hattiesburg and Gulfport. Those are the 2.
Yeah, about an hour to both.
About 30 minutes to one and 45 minutes to the other one.
So, and there's pretty much anything in the big towns that you'd want. Wiggins has
Mr. Rain wants to know, has our static elevation gone down in our well? I checked my 4-inch well the other day. It's dropped 2 feet from where it used to be at. It used to be at 10 foot, and I dropped the string with a nut on it down the well. It's at 12 feet now, so I've still got 27 foot of water in that particular well, so I'm not really that worried about it.
Okay. We're getting several prayer requests. Bob says we need to pray for everyone. We do. We need to pray for everybody and this nation in particular. That when we get back, people will start paying attention. They've gotten just so.
People have gone crazy, y'all. I mean, I'm just be honest with you. They've just gone freaking crazy.
Worldly. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, Danny and I don't go anywhere very much except run to town, go to church. And I was thinking today, things could go crazy in the world and we don't know it, except what we see on YouTube and the news. And we don't turn the news on very often. And we're getting to where we're not watching a lot of YouTube because we've been busy. So I guess anything could happen and we wouldn't know it for a while, you know?
Well, I mean, who was it? Brad said it the best here a while back. He said if an EMP happened, Danny and Wanda wouldn't even know it.
We probably wouldn't.
And that's probably true.
I mean, except the internet wouldn't work. I'd come to check it and I would go, oh, well, something's happened to the power.
Somebody wanted to know if could we use a windmill to pump our well water to generate electricity. Not really here because we don't have enough wind on a regular basis to keep it running.
Now, they used to use windmills years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it would work, but it wouldn't pump continually. Now, if you had a water catchment barrel, when the wind did blow, it would hold the water in, then you could do it.
Well, the thing was, back when they used windmills, people didn't use that much water.
Right.
I mean, you took a bath once a week, you washed clothes once a week, you pumped enough water to kind of go over that. And like you said, you had a water catchment system, a big barrel. Now we go through water like crazy. You flush toilets over and over and over. You run the sink. I mean,
yeah,
it's continuous all day. Either a washer's going, something's going all day with water.
Yeah. So, let's see. Pray without ceasing, lifting you all up in prayer. Thank you, Pastor. That's good. So many people here are putting up their prayer requests tonight. We just want to make sure we let as many of y'all get them up as we can, because
we have to pray for Dot D. She's snorting Vicks Vapor Rub because her sinuses are messed up.
Well, I mean, I've done it myself. It works.
I kind of like the smell of Vicks Vapor Rub. Some people don't, but I do.
Actually, Vicks Vapor Rub, let me throw this in right quick. Vicks Vapor Rub is something you want to make sure you have in your bug out bag.
And at your house.
Because in the event of some sort of a life-changing event takes place, Vicks Vapor Rub is one of the #1 things used to deal with dead bodies. Because all you got to do is rub a little bit of it right under your nose, and it takes the stench of a dead body away, and you're able to actually function around death, and it doesn't make you sick at your stomach. I just thought I'd throw that in. That's a survival tip.
Okay, let's see what else. Wrap your head in a hot towel, but protect your eyes for sinus. Okay, they're giving her advice, I'm assuming.
Okay. You know what? I think we need to probably just go ahead and pray. We've been on for close to an hour and 40 minutes.
Teresa Dean asked that we keep her son. Last week, Teresa had her son and her daughter in the hospital at the same time in 2 different hospitals. And so her son, she still asked in prayers for. I'm assuming since she didn't ask about the daughter must have gotten a little better. So keep Teresa and both her kids in your prayers.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and have our prayer. And a lot of people are probably going to be needing to go to bed here before long, so I don't want to keep everybody up all night. Yeah, we're usually in bed by now.
We'll have to see what Pastor and Plaid's got going on after this.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to go ahead and have a word of prayer here, y'all. Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you tonight. We just want to lift up your name. We want to praise you, and we want to glorify you first of all, Lord, and tell you how much we love you and appreciate you. And Father, we just want you to know that nothing is without you, and we understand that, and all things come from you. And we want to acknowledge that you are the one and the only creator. Father, you are the God of gods, the Lord of lords, and the host of hosts, Father. And Holy Spirit, we want to pray tonight that you would have rule and reign in our life, and that you would lead us and guide us in all areas of our lives now. And Father, we want to look out, and there's several people that we think about Patera's husband, James, and how he's having problems. And, Lord, he just needs some healing in his body. And we watched some things with Starry Hilder this past week, Lord, but she's still having some major issues. She's got to have some spinal surgeries done. And we pray, Father, that you'd be with them and her and Mr. Hilder in this. And, Lord, there's so many things, Father. I've got these issues with my neck that I can't get fixed because I haven't had the MRI. And Lord, there's just tons of other people that were mentioned here. We have a lady who contacted us who has a friend who had a brain aneurysm, Father. And I just pray that that you would be with this person, help them out, Lord, and help them to overcome this problem and not be mentally challenged after this. And Lord, I pray for all the ones that's watching tonight who don't know you as their personal Savior, Lord. That's the most important thing that a person can do in their life, is to accept you as their personal Savior now. And Lord, I just pray that in some way that maybe we can be a blessing to people, and we can help lead them to Christ. And that would be the one thing that would probably mean more to us than anything else now. And Father, the ones that have put up all these requests tonight, Father, whether they be physical issues or, Father, or some sort of stronghold in their life, or Father, some sort of mental problem that they're facing, or some kind of financial issue, a marriage problem, Lord, there's so many things we saw go over the screen. We can't list all of them, Father, but we know that you're the great physician, that you see and know everything. And Father, that you can answer each and every one of them in a personal and in a way, Lord, that will best benefit that person and glorify you at the same time now. And Father, we want to pray for our country. Lord, there's so much wickedness going on in our country. I want to lift it up before you and ask that you would, if you see fit, that you'd find grace and mercy on our country, Father, and help our nation to fall back to you and to look to you for leadership and guidance, and to put you back into our lives now and not pull you out of everything, Father. And we just want to ask this special blessing on our country now. And just, Father, as we all lay down to rest tonight, I pray that you'd give us a good night's rest so that we can rise tomorrow to go about our daily routines now. We want to ask all these things in thy name. Amen.
And you guys check out the Homestead Network. They have new people coming in just about every couple of weeks. We have somebody join the network, and I can't remember exactly what days, everybody's on, but Rain Country, one of our moderators, is on. Simply Circus, I saw, was on here a while ago.
Yeah.
There's several that have started in. I think Hope's Homestead is another one that's new. So you guys check them out. Palmetto Paratrooper, I saw he was on a while ago, is another one that was, I don't know, I think he quit doing a live feed though. He was doing one for a while, but I think he's backed out. Yeah. So y'all don't go to Palmetto Paratrooper. He may not have a live feed. But just check out the Homestead Network and see what all they've got going on and all the different feeds if you want to. And by all means, go check Pastor and Plaid out.
Yep, y'all check out Pastor and Plaid when his new video comes out. See what he's got going on, and
I think we're going to check him out too.
We're going to be checking him out. Yeah.
We'll see him tomorrow too.
We'll probably see him tomorrow too. Yeah. Oh, well, I want to tell y'all we've enjoyed being here with y'all tonight. We've enjoyed sitting down talking to y'all. We've enjoyed just sharing God's word with you. We've enjoyed sharing just conversation with y'all. So it always blesses us when we're able to sit down with all y'all and just chit chat with you, and maybe we can bless you by answering some of these questions that you have. So we're going to go and see if we can't get some rest ourselves.
Oh, and everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving, no matter where you celebrate it or how you celebrate it, or if you don't celebrate it. Just, give God the thanks at least that day and every day for what he does for us, because find a little bit of joy every day.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, find something to thank God for.
Yeah, I never did know how many we actually had watching tonight. I'm sure it was a pretty good bit, because I saw people coming and going. We'll look afterwards, I guess, and see. But just thank y'all once again for spending your time with us tonight. And all of y'all have a very happy Thanksgiving, and I pray that the Lord will bless y'all. Good night from Deep South Homestead, y'all.